Are you ready to embrace the new you? We're stepping beyond upgrades into the realm of expansion and energy shifts. Experience the shift with us as we explore new gifts, navigate the challenges, and allow the flow of transformation. Join us, let go of the old, and discover how these changes are not just happening around us, they're awakening within us.
April's about upgrades. May's about expansion, sitting in this new energy shift. So many of us, and you've experienced it, I've experienced it, where we have a new set of gifts. Like we're still us, but the energy upgrade shifts us into a new container, so to speak. And in that container, things work differently. And it can start pushing our buttons. So what are some buttons have you been feeling around this?
Oh my gosh, there's been so much. Honestly, flow has been the top of the list. There has been so much that has come up, shifted in such a short amount of time, so many things. And it's just, okay, just surrender into that and be like, okay, what needs to get done will get done. The other stuff, maybe I was deeming it important, but maybe it's really not so important. Maybe after, the spiral of all the new stuff that's coming up, maybe it's shifting things out. Like, okay, that really wasn't quite so important. You've been doing it on autopilot, sort of. And okay, let's rearrange stuff and give you a chance to, okay, what's going to land for you now? What is serving you now? And the rest will just kind of weed out. So that's how I've been kind of looking at that. But
because our lives are really changing.
It totally is. And fast.
And fast. And we honestly, logically don't know because we don't have a picture or an experience. Yes. We think based on experiences. We make decisions based on experiences in a logical place. But we don't have this experience yet. So making and understanding what is ready to be pulled out and what's ready to be bricked, we don't know. We just literally logically don't know. So as we're stepping into flow, so flow means that our energy is already there. The energy of the upgrade is already there. And being in flow is let that energy move us. Let that energy take us, isn't it? It's like it's taking us. And the more we're open to that, and you've been really amazing at being aware of that. You're like guiding my brain in this because there's times I'm like, glitch, and then you'll say, well, I'm in flow. And I'm like, oh yes, be in flow. Because my old body and old habits and old thoughts will go, but no. And I'm also feeling, what is it? Also feeling floaty, like empty and floating in a empty space. And not lonely, not a negative necessarily, but just floating in an empty space because that where I was familiar and I could feel grounded there. But this space is up here and it's floating still. And a floating sensation can bring about fear of the unknown and how my gifts are working exactly how they worked before. It's not exactly the same. And they're asking me to be comfortable and sit in the floaty,
Totally.
Be in a faith space and a trust space that all is well. And around me can have the sense because my senses are hyper, they want to be hyper alert because I don't understand. So they're trying to gather data in a hyperspace and like hyper speed. And that I'm like, no, you're going to overwhelm the bejeebies out of me doing that. Just sit and rest as this shift happens. Like be okay with floating, be okay with not understanding, be okay with don't know, and then sit with the energy and let it teach you. Because as the energy absorbs and integrates more and more and more, then the brain can catch up because the energy in my heart space will start to tell my brain, right? So this floaty is not forever, but it will push whatever insecurity patterns that a person has had. This time, those buttons will get pushed.
Totally. Yeah.
And I think the quicker, faster we can recognize that, oh yeah, that's a button that I have. That's my pattern.
Yep.
Then the less we'll dwell on it. I think that dwelling on the buttons and the feelings that could come up when you're floating, the faster we recognize them, the faster this shift can happen. Like if I focus on them, I'm going to slow the shift down. If I let it go and just stay here, the faster the shift will happen. And
Yes, it's and realizing it's a cycle. It's not, because at that point, for me anyway, I will hit that and be like, okay, it's an odd feeling because it's almost like you're regressing, but you're not. It's that cycle of, okay, you had everything figured out and now something new has come up. You went through that ceiling, so now it's okay, something new has come up, and then you have to like sit there and integrate that. This is the learning process, and then you're going to get into mastery again, and then it'll just keep going. It'll just keep cycling, but realizing that that's how it's going to be, and calming down and flowing with that process really makes it a lot easier, for sure. And each time a lot of times it will bring up different beliefs or patterns or things that you can excavate and work through, and
Right. Get at a whole
different
other
levels
level.
of it. Yeah. And not feeling like, oh my gosh, I worked on that already. Well, yeah, you have, but you're only able to a lot of times get so deep, so much that you're able to, your body's able to handle at that point. So you're just going deeper at each point. So getting my head wrapped around all of that really helps, for sure. Ease it and realize that everything's happening because it's serving you. Is huge. Just be like, okay.
I let go of the control of it. It's challenging my need to control.
Yeah.
It's challenging my need to see it and understand it. And it's challenging my self-worth and trusting who I am. And it's like, okay, I think the more honest we can be and realize that there could be some pain points in it, but allow it to be what it needs to be. Recognize your buttons and allow it yourself to move through it.
Yeah.
Don't ignore it. And it's not beneficial to dwell there. See it and allow that energy to shift. And then the cool side of it is, because I feel like I'm on that, okay, that was chaos. It feels a form of chaos. And now I'm shifting into, holy cow, this is amazing. And I still don't have a clear image, picture, feel for where we're totally landing in this shifty space. But I am getting the sense of this is like crazy cool. So it's like embrace the crazy so that you can see the cool. And how's that
Like, how
work?
many times have you let go of something or shifted through something and it was always scary? Pretty much, you're always like, but what if I lose that thing that I'm used to? But on the other side of it, do you ever look back and think, oh man, I wish I had that thing back? I don't think I've ever come up with one time where I'm like, darn it, wish I had that back. I mean,
Yeah, I have never. I know at the time it's freaky, scary, but after it's done, never. I've said, oh, gee, I really wish that was back here. No, no. And here's some things that we may see shift out. Different people that have been in our circle may shift out. If they're not shifting in this direction, they will no longer stay with us. So that can feel like pain, and it has a form of pain. So honor it, work through it. You will possibly find yourself shifting in sleep patterns. Possibly you'll be shifting in what your body's asking you to eat.
totally.
Or not. You may find that the type of exercise is changing. What's your body asking for? Are you needing more grounding? Are you needing more cardio? Are you needing more, whatever your body asks for, stretching, what it may be asking for, more rest, or the combination of things. So things you're letting go of is maybe an old pattern in how you like to get up in the morning and do ... You may be letting go of, I need to sleep in, or you may be letting go of, I need to go to bed at 9. Now you're going to bed at 11. There's different reasons for all these shifts. And as we shift these things, we will be letting go. Some more drastic ones are people find themselves shifting jobs, shifting, where they live. I have seen in different and journeying with people, I've seen these type of shifts and they feel like chaos, but it's a form of upgrading, and we have to lean in and trust the process. And so I'm not recommending any of those shifts, but if you people may find that this is shifting for them, and it's okay. And get your support people around you if they're big shifts, so that you're supported in a love container. You're not alone, because we are a collective that get it, and we're also shifting. So we really get it, and we can support each other through communicating and saying, oh my gosh, this is what I'm going through. And you're like, yeah, you are. Let's wrap some love around you and help you shift. Letting anything that starts to glitch the flow is could be a sign that yes, you're allowed to step down, and we're bringing that new energy in. We're letting that new energy fill in. And the more that happens, then our eyes will align with the energy. And what I mean by that is the eyes will begin to see not the old things that we used to see, but what is aligning with this new energy. So this is the shift, and we're all in it. Many of us are in it, right?
If you have any questions on this conversation, reach out to Janell or Misty at janell@janellray.com.